Hello and welcome to the 23rd Planet Destiny podcast. We have just the normal every weekly crew here. We have Pope Bear, we got Tefty, we got Briar Rabbit, and I don't think anything has actually happened that we should talk about. So
Pretty slow week.
Pretty slow week.
Talk. Slim pickings.
What is there to go over? Well, let's see. There is the massive shitstorm that is the collector's edition of Destiny. The Luke Smith interview, the Red Bull promotion, the fact that the Destiny, like, everything costs either $20, £20, or €20, which I can't math well, but that doesn't math correctly. So yeah, there are quite a few things for us to discuss. So let's just start it off this week. All right, we have the collector's edition thing, which we didn't really discuss last week because a lot of us had gone to E3, so we just kind of wanted to talk about what happened at E3, and also we didn't really know about the collector's edition thing because we had all just gotten back and we hadn't really read anything yet, or read that the community was very outraged at this point. So sorry about not commenting on the podcast last week about that, but yeah.
On just a 30,000 feet above, the message from Bungie definitely was confused, and I don't think they had all their internal politics together to know how to deal with what was coming. I think it seems like E3 was coming up so fast for them, and then suddenly all this new stuff came out in like the collector's edition, and then they were just kind of hip firing. At least it feels like it. And the Luke Smith interview seems like it was kind of a hip fire type of thing. So I can see how possibly a company like Bungie could maybe make some mistakes like that in a time during E3 going on.
So real quick, can we go over kind of the main controversy, the pricing of the collector's edition and the Luke Smith interview? Just for people who don't know exactly what's going on.
That's true.
So
there could be some people that have not read anything.
And lucky you, if that is you.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as far as like the collector's edition goes, right now there's like 5 different versions of the Taken King that you can buy. If you have Destiny, The Dark Below, and the House of Wolves DLC, you can buy a digital version of the game that is $40 US, and it will just be the Taken King. No spinners, no amazing, cool, flashy things on it. It's just the Taken King. There you
Spinners.
go. You can play.
Spinners.
You can. Yeah,
Spinners.
spinners. I'm sorry. I've been watching The Wire. So that's the
what
first
is
thing
a
that popped in
spinner,
my head.
by the way?
They're really cool rims that spin.
Oh,
They
on your
keep
car.
On moving. Yeah, they keep moving.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Okay, it's a totally different definition for me, but that's okay.
It says your G vibe is way up, you know?
Anyway. So there's that just basic bare bones edition. You can play the Taken King with that. There's also a digital collector's edition that is $80. That comes with 3 emblems, 3 shaders, 3 emotes, and then 3 class items. So 12 items total, basically, in game that are purely cosmetic.
Actually, the class items, I believe, do give you some sort of XP bonus.
Right.
Okay, yeah, they do give you XP bonus, but to clarify, there are class items will be giving you bonuses towards stuff in the game already.
Yeah.
This isn't isn't like you have to buy the collector's edition to get a class item that does this. They will be in the game. We already saw that at E3.
Right, and I want to go back and talk about why I think that's part of that edition, but we'll talk about it later.
Well, let's get through all the editions. Also, if you buy that $80 digital edition, you're also getting Destiny 1, Dark Below, and House of Wolves. For someone that's coming into the game, that's a really great deal. Pay $80 and then boom, I can, I have Destiny, all this stuff. I have the Taken King pre-ordered now, and I'm going to get some cool stuff. That's pretty cool.
That's really apparent if you also look at the Legendary Edition, the $60, and that just comes with Destiny, the Dark Below, House of Wolves, and the Taken King.
Bungie has also kind of backpedaled in the last weekly update that they did, and they said, okay, so if you end up having, if you if you buy the Taken King, you can end up getting that $20 digital thing right when Taken King comes out. It's not going to be available now. It'll be available once Taken King comes out.
As a $20 upgrade.
Yeah, basically $20, and then you get all that stuff. So people are basically looking at, okay, these items that we get are essentially going to be worth $20. And we'll expand on that in a little bit more. There's still more versions to get through. The final version is a physical collector's edition. that got sold out pretty quickly. Basically, it comes with, all the stuff in the digital collector's edition, but then it also comes with like Cade 6 field guide that has a bunch of his notes in it, a strange coin. There's probably some other stuff in there.
Poster, some other paraphernalia.
A poster, yeah. So basically, both the digital collector's edition and the physical one cost the same thing, even though the digital actually doesn't come with the same amount of stuff. You're getting
but the
less.
Retail one was a GameStop exclusive, so it may be that GameStop was helping with the cost of some of that to some extent.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is.
Right, I don't know either.
I didn't know about that.
It is a GameStop exclusive.
Yeah, and just so everyone is aware, I pre-ordered that one. Like I
did too.
Yeah, me too.
I was a little frustrated with like reading all the YouTube comments on all this thing, so I just went out for a drive, and I was like, what the hell? I'll go to a GameStop, see if they have one. And the person in front of me just canceled their pre-order, and I guess I was the next in line, so I got it.
Wow.
Yeah. So now everyone knows I purchased the physical collector's edition, just so we know where I stand on this.
So the controversy was that people, to get the best edition, to get the new emotes, to get the new shaders, to get the new class items, you had to buy an $80 version of Destiny that came with, or the Taken King, that came with Destiny, the Dark Below, and the House of Wolves, which most people already have all three of those.
Yeah.
And that was angry. That made people angry, I think.
And rightfully so. Like, I still feel kind of like, why am I having to pay for content that I already own?
Right.
And I think that was Bungie's mistake.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that line right there, that what you said resonates with so many people. I don't want to buy something that I've already paid for.
Yeah. Now,
I think that's it.
Yeah. Now, if they were to do something where they're like, okay, so you bought the collectors, or you bought this, but you already have it. Okay, so they would essentially give you a copy of the game that you can give away or something like that. At least as far as like the digital edition is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
The physical copy, yeah, I can physically just give that to someone that's interested in the game as well, which I probably will.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really just doing it.
I feel like less people were pissed off about the physical version because it came with physical goodies. Whereas most people were really kind of pissed off about the digital edition, which came with no physical items, but just seemed to be kind of a
this the same
really
price.
expensive thing.
Yeah. It's a $40 hike to get the emotes, then the exclusive stuff that a diehard fan technically wants.
Right. So they did come out with that $20 upgrade thing. So let's kind of discuss that a little bit, because a lot of people are still like really angry about that. And I think the main point of discussion here is that is this stuff worth $20?
Well, if you wanted it,
right. And I think that's where I gotta step in, because I think this is where my view, up until this point, I've sort of heard what people are saying, and I'm equally frustrated. I found justification in knowing that somebody that hasn't played Destiny, I'll give them my extra disc. I also pre-ordered and paid for the $80 version, and that's where I stand. But I could see where people were frustrated with that, and
yeah, absolutely.
So now, where I found that Destiny with Bungie is what they didn't do well is articulating how that value system worked, right? And I think that's once again Bungie sort of not understanding who their audience is as a mixed group of console players, PC gamers, MMO players, RPG players, first-person shooters. It's something that I keep going back to as far as this diverse community is concerned, is that there has to be a lot of education involved with every step they make, more so than they have in the past, because the community is so diverse. They need to spend more time taking the time to educate them, to educate the fans on what's happening, because like we were talking about earlier, Tefty, you and I and Patrick, I mean, for sure, and I don't know about Briar, but I mean, we're used to spending money on digital upgrades and when you play PC games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
definitely, it's common.
World of Warcraft is the huge one for me. Like,
oh, there it is.
Yeah.
11
minutes. You got it. I didn't want to say it, but
it's not going to be the first or last time in this podcast either. I'm just World of Warcraft will be my go-to thing for this, just because it's so easy to compare. Like mounts in World of Warcraft, they have a digital store where you can buy a single mount in the game. A mount is something that you just travel on, essentially. It's a purely cosmetic item. You can get other mounts in the game. It's basically like a sparrow. What if you got a sparrow that had some really sick like flames coming off of it? Not like painted on flames, but really cool flames erupting off the side of it. Okay.
Well, if that was the case, I'd throw money at my screen to get it.
We're going there.
Sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, like though the single mount is $25 in the Blizzard store. I've purchased like to date 2 of those, and I purchased some for friends. But the weird thing with these digital goods is it's only as valuable as you make it out to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that's something that's people are probably going to be really pissed about, because something, well, I value it at $10, but I still want it. It's like, well, okay.
Yeah, so here's the thing. So back to what Pope was saying about Bungie not having their message together and not understanding how to educate their fans and all this stuff. I think what really happened, if I were to peer into the smoke and try to delineate some sort of sense out of what Bungie did, I think Activision, because they own World of Warcraft with Blizzard, is saying
it's like Blizzard Activision. They're like,
right, but their marketing department absolutely has that data and understands how those sales happen, and they understand how Diablo sales happen, and StarCraft and all these, and those are very expansion heavy games where you pretty much rebuy the game with each expansion.
Yeah.
So their marketing department absolutely is guiding Bungie, and I think what happened is Bungie doesn't know how to handle all this information and also please Activision at the same time, because Activision is saying you got to have something ready for E3 and you got to have these pre-orders ready, and rightfully so if it's going to be out in September, that's that window of opportunity. So they're saying get all this stuff out, give these collector's editions and the digital versions and so on and so forth, get the pre-orders ready, and Bungie's like, okay, yeah, we got to make sure Papa Activision's happy, but at the same time we need to tell the players, and that's where it broke down, and they didn't tell the players correctly. And also the fact that a lot of these players are console gamers. I don't have any statistic. Yeah, I don't have a statistic in front of me to tell you how many, but I'd venture to say like a solid 50% of them are purely console gamers that haven't experienced what we've experienced with World of Warcraft, Diablo, and StarCraft, and those expansions, and how you repurchase this content, and you're kind of just okay with the fact that this expansion brings
so you pay
brings
$60
one more act
for every expansion that comes with World of Warcraft, and it includes the old content as well?
Not really. Like in World of Warcraft, all the expansions, aside from the most recent one, where it's like $50, $40 or $50.
So more in line with the Taken King DLC pricing.
Basically more in line with Taken King DLC, and you're not rebuying the game either. You're just buying the expansion. Now they do have like a battle chest thing, where you can buy or spend like $20 and you get all previous versions of the game. So,
but at the same time,
$60 and get get everything.
But at the same time, they're not going to be like, okay, let's take away base Destiny, Dark Below, and House of Wolves, and then still charge $60. You know what I mean? Like they're looking at it as a value of they want to charge, or they want to get everybody up to speed and not have to have 15 different SKUs for the retailers either.
Yeah, I think a while back we had actually kind of like theorized at what Comet is going to be, what Taken King. And we were thinking like, okay, so it's coming out a year after Destiny. That would be like prime time to get all of the Destiny discs off the shelves essentially, and get them, and then just get the Taken King, and then it would come with Destiny and then the 2 DLCs. And I was like, hey, that's actually a really good idea. I don't think we really thought that there's going to be people buying the Taken King that already had this stuff as well. Like I guess we always thought it was going to be purely digital or something.
Right. And the problem is that if you want the collector stuff, you have to buy the base game again, or that version that comes with the base game. And that's where the message broke down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but they nailed it. I feel like they nailed it with their yesterday's update. Is they added another SKU, a $20 SKU that said, okay, you can buy the $40 Taken King digital download, and you can buy the $20 SKU that has just the extra stuff that came with the digital collector's edition. So now for $60, you can kind of get a Taken King collector's edition-ish thing. That nails it for me.
I think that was the right move.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Diablo did with the last expansion, Diablo. It was like $40, I believe, for the expansion. I could be wrong with this, and then $60 for their exclusive. You get some sort of you get a cape or something in the game. Like literally, it does absolutely nothing. It's just cosmetic. But for $20,
cape.
Yeah, for $20, it says that you are a high level player that loves this game. And again, that's Activision. That's Activision marketing saying, here's the price numbers that seem to work.
One thing that they do in like WoW and Diablo and stuff like that is and this is where I think Bungie really needs to like step up here and deviate from what they normally do.
Mm-hmm.
Bungie is always really secretive with their stuff, and it works. It's been working for them. But in this situation, just have this storm brewing, or this storm going on right now that seems like it has no end in sight, and a lot of people, it would be a really good state of mind for a lot of people to know exactly what they're getting with with that $20 add-on. And yes, we know, the numbers of, I'm thinking people need to know what the stuff looks like. People need to know what the shaders, what the emotes are, because then it's easier for some people to justify spending that money. And then some people will go, okay, well, that's not something that I want.
I agree completely, because when you see the stuff on Diablo, you're like, oh, do I want that cape or not?
Oh yeah, like you see the new mount coming out in the Blizzard store, and you're like, oh my god, that looks amazing. And then you remember, oh wait, there's going to be literally half the server buying that same mount too, so I'm not going to buy it.
So the second thing that happened this week that added fuel to the fire was that Luke Smith actually got interviewed on Eurogamer.
Yeah,
and was, I would say, sarcastic and unapologetic.
He's kind of an ass.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could see it that way, definitely.
Well, by his own words, I think he was. He called himself an ass hat. So
yeah,
I think
So, and they were Eurogamer's interviewer. I don't think conducted himself very well either, but was really trying to get this question answered. Like, where is the value, and why is it more expensive in Europe than it is in the States? And Luke Smith just didn't want to answer the question. He felt like he had answered the question.
No, and Brian, I look at it differently. I think he was trying to allude to the answer that he couldn't answer, but the Eurogamer interviewer wasn't getting it.
Yeah, okay.
Like he was subtly trying to give him the hint that the answer he can't give him the answer, but the answer is there's really going to be amazing stuff, and then he just never really picked it up. Yeah. Instead of just ending the conversation with, that's not something that we're prepared to talk about right now. You should be excited on this date. We're releasing the information on what's in the Taken King. We're excited about what we have to offer, and we're sure that you're going to be excited.
So Luke Smith basically added fuel to the fire. But again,
he's really the spark that kind of ignited the fire. The collector's edition thing was just nice tinder sitting there, and then the Luke Smith thing just
he definitely ignited.
But then again, in the weekly update, he apologized, and I feel like for the most part that should be over now.
I agree, and you know what? I know I've been able to talk to Luke Smith, and he's a super funny, engaging, extremely talented guy. I feel like you're right, Briar. We should be moving past it. And ultimately, it comes down to one simple fact, I think, for the majority of people out there. Do they value the collector's edition content to be worth $20 or not? And you may disagree with that, or you may agree with that. But either way, that's the price that's set. You're not rebuying any content. You can either choose to purchase it or you choose not to. And that's, I think, is that fair enough to say?
Yeah, I don't even think it'll really add much to your experience in Destiny other than you have a shader that some other people don't, or you have a cloak that some other people don't.
Sure.
So it's not integral to your experience in the Taken King. It's just extra stuff.
Absolutely. And I think that there's nothing wrong with them pricing at whatever they feel is a good, fair market value for their content. And we may disagree with it. We may think it should be $10 or $5 or $50. it's irrelevant. At that point, you either decide to buy it or not, and you can be upset that they charge too much or not. But the fact that we now have an option where we don't have to buy content that's already been, that we already have, is the right move.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
Kind of going back to the Luke Smith interview,
Luke Smith is an ex-journalist, right? He was with OneUp.com for years. I think he was with Kotaku before that.
Yeah.
He was on the One Up Yours podcast for, I believe, a couple of years.
He was on the Destiny
really
podcast when they used to do a
that's right.
Bungie podcast. He was on Bungie's podcast.
He's a really bright guy, but he's definitely got a snarky, kind of sarcastic wit. And I kind of think that he knew what the interviewer was trying to do and was kind of playing a little bit of cat and mouse with him.
Yeah,
and I don't think that was the right way to go.
He was counter-journalisming him?
Maybe, yeah.
What he did is he did not make good print.
No.
Yeah.
So I can guarantee you, knowing Luke, that while he was answering those questions, he had a smile on his face, and his mannerisms were joking with the guy, and I can guarantee you that was the interviewer even said it. He tweeted it out later. He's like, it was a lighthearted. Everybody's out there with pitchforks on Bungie. I mean, you got to understand that the interview was lighthearted.
Yeah.
Well, that fact does seem to be kind of going past a lot of people, and
well, it doesn't come across in print.
It doesn't. Yeah, it makes bad print.
Yeah. It's also, I mean, it's because you said, the tinder was laid there with the collector's edition, and this interview just lit it all on fire, Yeah,
no putting it out at that point. And then,
let's make this a bonfire.
Pretty much,
well, to make it to the bonfire, you need to add the fuel of Red Bull. Yeah. Yeah, so for those who don't know, there's a special promotion exclusively with Red Bull, exclusively at 7-Eleven right now, where you can get these codes from Red Bull cans and then go, get an exclusive mission in game, one-time use item that will give you 50% XP bonus for 30 minutes. So
also that mission is available on with the Taken King.
It's not just a mission; it's an entire quest line with 6 missions.
Yeah.
Oh, is it really?
Line. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, okay. So I was misinformed there. Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't know about that.
So it's much larger than I thought. It's an entire quest line and then an item. I don't think the community is necessarily kind of pissed at that. I think the community was pissed at the marketing thing that came out. Destiny players are used to paying money for extra content or something like that. And that statement came off as so insulting. Oh my god, I felt embarrassed to be a Destiny player right then. It's like, excuse me, no I don't. I just like playing this game. But yeah, the little the Red Bull thing that came out for all the 7-Eleven vendors to read was pretty demeaning to Destiny players. And then there's also just the fact that I now have to, or in the Taken King, if I want to add a little bit more story to a game that, well, let's be very frank here, does not have a lot of story to it or have a lot of content in general, now I have to buy a Red Bull to go play a mission.
Possibly more than one.
Possibly more than one.
Yeah, is it like a lottery type of thing?
I don't know.
No, it's underneath each tab.
Is it?
Okay. You get
is
a
it
code,
guaranteed to
right?
have the quest?
I don't know.
It's guaranteed to have a code.
It is. It's guaranteed to have a code, but is it guaranteed to unlock the quest? Or is it?
That's the question.
Maybe one code gives you that XP bonus, and another code gives you the quest.
Well, the quest isn't going to become available until Taken King, right?
Right.
Well, that's what I don't
know. How do you acquire the quest? That's the question.
Yeah.
Does every code give you the quest and an XP bonus, or do some codes give you the XP bonus and some codes give you the quest?
Well, I would hope it would be everything with one code because that's. Oh yeah.
The good news about this is that that quest will be unlocked for everybody in January.
Yes, so everyone's getting some exclusive. Yeah, everyone is feeling the timed exclusive thing here now. So us PlayStation players, that don't know about that, now we get to feel it. Mm-hmm. And gotta say, it sucks.
No, okay. So here's my deal. This isn't new.
No, it isn't.
No. Halo. I can think of so many games where I bought so many Mountain Dews.
Mm-hmm. Game fuel.
So many Mountain Dews and so many bags of Doritos. I can't even tell you. I had
I
had hundreds of hours of double XP for Halo, because it was out there, and it is a legitimate marketing thing, taken out of context, taken out of the collector's edition debacle, right?
Yeah.
Nobody would have thought twice about it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
If it was just XP, I would agree with you, Pope. But because it is Destiny, which is, like Patrick said, a little light on content, and because it's 6 missions, like that's a big hunk.
I mean, that's basically Eris Morn quest line. As far as we know, we don't know exactly what the missions are going to be, but like for right now, what I have in my head is like, okay, that's the equivalent of doing like the Eris Morn quest line to get those stupid gloves.
But Briar, the only thing is that they're not excluding you from getting it.
No, they're just putting it behind another paywall.
For a temporary, like a time
temporary paywall.
Right. Temporary paywall, yeah.
I don't know. It's poor timing. I agree.
It's very poor timing.
But I'm not insulted by it. I'd tell you if I thought I was, that was dumb. But it's not cheap to make a game.
No,
it just is not cheap to make a game. And they're looking at two different. I think fundamentally, like Tefty was talking about this. If you back up to 30,000 feet and you take a look at the problem, right? I think you also have to address that Bungie was going after and was under a lot of pressure to not make it microtransactions.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wanted microtransactions. You can't rob Peter to pay Paul. I mean, it's got to come from somewhere. You got to make money somehow to pay for the people who are making the game. So you're either paying for a subscription. That's why I don't understand like the comparisons directly to WoW's pricing structure, but because you're either paying for the subscription to WoW and and all that comes with that, plus you're paying for the extra content. Well, where is Bungie maintaining and making its money to make the content?
Yeah,
I would like to see them make the best game possible, make it appeal to as many gamers as possible, and see them make their money that way, as opposed to the Red Bull thing.
No, but it takes a large budget though to do that.
I understand. The Red Bull thing rubs me the wrong way though. It just does, and I've paid it. I've done it with Call of Duty before, and the XP bonus doesn't bother me. It's that mission thing that bothers me. It really does, because Destiny already has this issue that everybody knows about, right? Is the content is a little bit light in Destiny. Even after the Dark Below and the House of Wolves, it's still a little bit light. And now I've got to go buy some Red Bull so I can get the full Taken King experience. I'm not pissed about it, but it doesn't sit perfect.
Well, the exact quote from this marketing thing is, Destiny consumers are used to paying a premium for downloadable content similar to this quest.
This comes from Red Bull, not Bungie, though.
Yeah, this comes from Red Bull, not Bungie.
Yeah. So the whole thing is, I was so excited about the Taken King. I was so excited. I'd seen all the footage. You guys had gone and played it, and you guys were coming back and beaming about it. And then all this stuff happens, right? It's the Taken King pricing. That's bad. The Luke Smith interview just makes Bungie look bad. And then this Red Bull deal, just adds more fuel to the fire. And, it just erased the E3 stuff, right? It's gone.
Yeah. No, it completely
all of that hype has been completely dissipated. And that sucks because it's only a week afterward.
I don't think they got the longevity that they needed from E3.
No.
They really needed it to carry another week or two.
Yeah, probably about another 2 months until they start, doing the whole spoiling stuff.
Yesterday's update,
August.
Update 1, version 1, or part 1 was good, because it kind of, okay, we're looking at this, we apologize, we've got this new $20 addition or update or upgrade that, will help solve the issues you're having with the pricing. Luke Smith's in there apologizing. I think it's a heartfelt apology. I was happy with that. Today they should have been all about, pushing new stuff. They, the second part of this update should have been, okay, we got weapon balancing coming 2 weeks from now. We got, this coming up. We got that coming up. Start pushing new stuff, because what's going on right now in the Destiny community. If you go on Destiny subreddit right now, which is usually a pretty fun place to hang out. It is a miserable experience.
I've had a lot of trouble going there because I love going there, just reading comments and everything. But right now, I go there and like almost every single thread is just fuck Bungie, just hammering into them. And then at the same time, people are hammering into us, like YouTubers, us people at PlanetDestiny. It's like, well, what the hell, man? I'm just sitting over here eating a sandwich, and it's like because we weren't aggressive enough, like when with Bungie and stuff. It's like, man.
Oh wait! You're getting comments from people that were associated to this in some way.
No, that we're not like spearheading a movement to dismantle the problem.
No, we're not like sharpening our pitchforks and everything.
Oh my god! Like, okay, all right.
Like,
I like to think of us. I like to think of myself as somebody that, there's two different types of activists in the world. All right, there's the ones that, all right, let's overthrow the government because I don't like it, or in a very rough terms, or there's another type that says I'm going to change it through the legal process from within. I don't know, man. It's just I think that if you're in a no, it's hefty. I was just going to start getting way too serious for this, but I think if you're in a process of that you want change, then you can see that change happen through being part of the community that is a good voice that influences Bungie in a good positive way. Or you can be the people that are yelling fire in the crowded theater. I don't approve of the fire in the crowded theater. It's just not. Yeah. It's just not the method that I feel is the most effective. So if I'm not sharpening my pitchfork right now and running to Bellevue to go see who I can hang on it, I'm sorry. That's just not my. That's just not my style. My style is to take a educated, measured approach. Find out what the information is, become informed, and then provide solutions in a constructive way. So if I'm not on Twitter and YouTube lambasting, Bungie and screaming at them, I'm sorry.
And 99.9% of our viewer base of people on Reddit are completely understanding of that. There's just I think there's a very vocal minority,
and that's what I'm most upset about.
Contributing,
I'm most upset that this has given that vocal minority an opportunity to sound off, and and has changed the dialogue. Not that things are perfect, but it has changed the dialogue from a constructive dialogue to a caustic dialogue, and no good comes from everybody running around. Trying to cover their ass or running around being, worried about their own shadow. Nothing good comes from that.
So, there might be something good that comes from it, though. So, and let me just pitch this out there for you guys. So, I think we all know the core of the problem is Bungie's ability to convey information to us and satiate the appetite of the fans until the content gets released and giving us a clear message. It's problematic, and it comes from a console attitude and perspective. In the past, it's worked because there's these big releases and then big DLCs that come out for Halos, and then we consume the content and it keeps going on and on. This is the first time that they've had an online persistent world or semi-persistent world. Not quite like WoW, but there's a lot of similarities where our inventories and everything are on a persistent database, and that is a brand new world for them. They have not been in a world where they're doing PC-like type of games, where there's this persistent world and database, and it's conflicting with the consumers, the gamers, the avid fans, wildly right now because of that philosophy. And so they are learning as they go right now that they have to adopt a new perspective for this, and that's why maybe this is good, because it's going to have them realize, oh, we have to start shifting our messages and start giving them out more fluidly and not have them behind such giant walls until the month before the release and all that, so they can prevent these kind of firestorms, or prevent giving a vocal minority a large mouthpiece,
Right.
So
I can see that.
So it might be a good thing, and if it does help Bungie look at it from a different perspective and start changing the message, then awesome.
Something needs to change from both ends. I look at conflict resolution as not something where you can sit there pointing fingers, right? It does no good, in my opinion, to be a caustic community that is screaming at the people that create our content, calling them, bad words and negative, comments of it. I'm a fan of the game. I want to see it get better, and I want to influence it in a positive way. If you're okay with that, then come watch me on my streams. But I'm personally not going to be in a position where I want to, fill the room with people yelling. No. And that's just not my, that's all I'm saying. I understand that there might be some good that comes from this, and I'm pissed about it too, dude. I'm not trying to like kiss anybody's ass here. I'm pissed about the way they handled this more than anybody else, because it's changed the method. It's changed the message from something extremely positive that I got a chance to play that I think is phenomenal and the community is gonna love. It's changed the message from that game that I love to this, and that's what that's why I'm angry. So,
and that's what I'm saying. I think they're learning about this right now.
Right.
They're realizing that the console generation is growing up into a more PC-like generation, because of all these tools and all that. And it's a different vibe. It's a different type of market.
They've made huge strides in the past. Over the last year, we've seen Bungie be much more communicative.
They have.
Man, this was a huge misstep.
It is a pretty big setback.
I completely agree. I can just like what Patrick said. It's a step backwards.
Yeah,
definitely.
There's a lot of ground that they're going to have to cover now to make up for it. That's all.
The timing with the Red Bull thing, it really sealed it for me. I was like, whoa. Not that the Red Bull thing bothered me dramatically, like it's bothering. Not to say that it's bothering you dramatically, Briar, but I get what you're saying. Like, that really was the cake on top of it to be like, and guess what? Check out this weird promotion that we just struck with Red Bull.
Which we actually
there's
knew
other
about.
companies. Yeah,
we knew about that for a long time. It's just that it kind of got wide release right now.
It got released during this.
It got released.
We knew about
it. We knew about it because of leaks, but it was officially released.
During this time.
And you can only imagine that that's contractual, right? That is not them deciding, hey, let's go ahead and drop this Red Bull thing. They were probably saying, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They probably thought they'd be riding high right now.
Right. The timing of it was
right after E3 to drop this Red Bull promotion, sell some Red Bull, get some people excited for Destiny the Taken King. But man, it just did not happen that way.
And the bummer of that is that I'm a huge fan of Optic FlameSword. I really like his content, and I like his personality in the Optic house. I was a big COD fan as well as a Halo fan, and I really like his work. And it's really disappointing that the negativity that's coming from this, because that is if you guys haven't had very many interactions with him, not you guys, but like people listening, he is a legit human being and is a cool pro gamer. And I just wish this was like his opportunity to be front and center for once. He's always kind of been in the backstage of Nadeshot and Scumper and those guys. And this was his moment to shine, and it's unfortunate that it's in a negative light. So that's also something that I'm kind of annoyed about, is that it's not his opportunity to be out front and center in front of millions of people and being a part. I wanted to welcome him to the Destiny community because he's a good guy and a good pro to have in the ranks. But for this to be his welcoming just sucks.
Yeah.
It's poor timing. Yeah.
Doom and gloom.
It is not. It is not total doom and gloom though. There's a lot of good stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
But
ultimately, I gotta tell you, I'm pretty happy with the way everything turned out, because the collector's edition is getting this extra little, like, we don't know what it's gonna be, right? Deej hinted it at the end that those people who already own Destiny and bought the collector's edition, we're looking at you too, and we don't know what it's gonna be.
We're getting like a Sparrow. Right?
What do you think? What do you think it's gonna be?
I kind of think it's gonna be a DLC code, right? A code for the next DLC, like the next $20 DLC. That's what I kind of think it might be. But that's total guess.
I think it's something that you just can't get.
Nah, I think that'd be a bad idea to put a new item in there, because that's just gonna piss off everybody who bought the $20 upgrade.
Well, no, for being a year one player, wasn't it? That's
no,
what
I'm talking about if you bought if you already owned Destiny and the 2 DLCs, then you bought the collector's edition.
Right.
Deej said that there's going to be a little special something, or we've got something for those guys too. Because now it's like, if you already bought that collector's edition, you're not going to get a refund from the PlayStation Store, right?
Gotcha.
Nope.
Yeah.
So
You're not.
You know, those guys who were quick to jump on that, you know, they could honestly feel a little screwed here, because now, in retrospect, they could have just bought the $40 Taken King and the $20 upgrade. But they went right off the bat and bought the $80 version, like everybody on this call did. So Bungie addressed that in the weekly update. They said there's going to be a little something special. So if it is something of that value, that could be the way to go, especially if you got the retail edition.
I just don't think that they're going to give another DLC away, a whole expansion. You know.
What do you think they'll do?
It's got to be something that they can't conflict with the new user base. You know, so it can't be like a quest line or anything like that. It's got to be swag items. You know.
It can't be that stuff. Because they're just going to piss off. That's the whole point of everybody getting mad that you know, they didn't want to buy that $80 version just to get $20 worth of goods, you know. That goes back on the whole thing. If they put it like a green glowing sparrow in there for just the people who got stuck in this situation, then everybody's gonna be like, "Well, I want that green glowing sparrow."
Yeah, I
think
don't
the
know,
best
man. This is
solution
a
would
tough
be just
spot for them.
A code that says, "Okay, you know, you spent $20 on content you already have, so we'll give you a voucher for the next DLC, which is $20."
You know, Briar, I didn't completely understand or believe what you were saying earlier about this point. I think you might be right. I think that would make sense. Like, from a monetary standpoint, we've already bought the game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we're the fans that bought it fastest.
It makes sense from our perspective completely. I'm just saying I don't know if it makes sense.
It's
from
just
Activision's
a guess. Like,
point
I
of
mean,
view.
there's no way. I don't know what they're gonna do, but man, that'd be awesome if they did, and then make that $80 retail edition something special.
That would be awesome. Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to get the retail edition just for the stuff that comes in it too.
You know, tossing strange coins at hookers and stuff. It's gonna be awesome.
Take strange coin.
What? Explain what you're doing with your strange coin again.
A strange coin.
Oh man, do you take strange coins? That would actually be a really funny video to put out. Like, you walking around throughout your day trying to pay for stuff. Like, you're at Starbucks and you're like, you just drop a strange coin down on the table and walk out.
That's the tip.
You know, what do you mean it's not worth it? I mean, this is a strange coin.
Yeah.
Legal value of this is $20.
$20. It's $20 worth.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it'd be great if we get an extra DLC. I just think it's probably going to be something a little bit more exclusive. I mean, I don't know. Like, I like the stuff that you can't get anymore, you know, as a player.
Yeah.
Like, if you didn't play it year one, then you didn't play it. You don't. Yeah. Like, you know, there's some emblems that you can't get unless you.
That's that WoW attitude, right? And that's
yeah, and there's also some emblems that you can't get unless you've been on Bungie's forums for like 7 years. You know,
10 years. Yeah.
10 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
You know what's funny is that, like, I know exactly what you're saying, because I should have gotten one, but my account got reset on Bungie.net.
Is this Salty Pope?
Oh, it's Salty Pope. It's a really great player emblem. It's like a fist coming up and grabbing onto a lightning bolt.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
I should have gotten it, but my account was reset on BNet, so it only shows me being on Bungie.net for 7 years, and
Bungie likes that number. They should just change to that.
Yeah. What's that?
Bungie likes that number.
No, 7. I know. No, but it's funny because, like, a bunch of the friends that I know, you know, were on Bungie early on have it, and they every time they want to troll me, they put it on, and I'm it makes me mad. So I know what you're talking about. I want the stuff that nobody else can get.
Yeah, I do. That's the same thing for me. Like, I look at my Xbox version. I don't have the Frontier Ghost Shell, and I get a little salty over it. I'm considered buying the $80 one again just to have that Ghost Shell.
Oh God!
I haven't done it, but I've considered it because every time I go on the PlayStation,
I didn't know you had this problem.
Yeah.
There's some meetings that you should go to.
Friends have got me signed up for hoarders meetings because they see my vault.
Oh god, that's terrible. You know, actually,
Yeah.
I was streaming last night, Tefty, and people were making fun of me because, I got a Ash Factory, the rocket launcher.
Oh, nice, yeah.
And everybody was like, "Oh no, that's a really great rocket launcher." And so I went to the. This is my problem. I went to the tower to re-roll the Ash Factory with 4 very specific things I wanted from it before I left. And so,
pretty sure we all know what you were trying to roll for.
Right. So I just sat there and rolled and rolled and rolled. And the people in the stream were like, "This is awesome. You know, keep rolling, keep rolling." They're like people cheering behind you like you're in Vegas, you know, throwing money down on the roulette table. And it's not their money, right? So they're saying, "Yeah, just keep re-rolling it, man." Oh, man. But yeah, I must have spent at least 150 motes of light re-rolling this Ash Factory to get what I wanted. But yeah,
there you go.
I get it.
Congratulations. You're broke now.
No, I'm not. I still have 300 more.
I ran out of weapon parts.
Yeah.
How? I just did.
How? I still have 25,000.
Not 25,000.
It might be 2,500.
Yeah, I have 2,500, and I play as much as you do.
And Glimmer goes quick too.
Glimmer goes quick when you're trying to do specific rerolls. Yeah. For one of the videos I'm doing, I wanted a very specific sniper roll on her benevolence.
Right.
And oh my god, it took
forever.
It took 22,000 Glimmer. Like I don't care about the motes of light. I got those for days.
Right.
But the Glimmer was just like.
So what was the roll?
Away. Ambush scope.
Right.
Clown cartridge.
Right.
The middle one, I ended up not being able to get. I was like, screw it. But then the last one was performance bonus.
Okay, what did you want in the middle?
In the middle, I wanted casket mag.
Okay. I don't think casket mag is as good. Personally,
it's a 1-round increase. That does make a difference in the long run for a PvP sniper rifle. If this was for PvE, I'd be going stability all the way.
Yeah, I ran casket mag for a bit with hidden hand and what was it? Oh, surplus. And I feel like I'm gonna re-roll that one. But I got that same one, and I in the middle I ended up getting hand laid stock and skip rounds, so I can choose either having more in the reserve or better balance. And I got short gaze also on it as well.
Yeah, the scopes are. I'm coming out with a video that's like very in depth for snipers, and the scopes are one of the big things that I've been trying to.
Love that. I love the ambush scope. But I recently rolled a sniper rifle that has ambush and short gaze.
Yep.
And I started using short gauge, and I kind of like it better.
It actually entirely depends on your weapon handling and current stability. If you have really high current stability, then short gaze is going. If you have better stability and weapon handling, short gaze is going to be a better option. If you need more stability and weapon handling, then ambush is going to be a better option. Now, short gaze also does increase your aim assistance. Ambush decreases it, so it's like they're basically opposites of each other, but then they just have the same scope length.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, so
I'll make sure to watch your video then.
It's going really in depth.
Yeah.
I got ambush and short gaze and performance bonus, and then those middle tier hand laid stock, skip rounds, and then clown cartridge on the first one, and then performance bonus on the last one.
That's a really good roll, Tefty.
It only took 50 motes.
Wow.
Pretty happy about it.
Nice. It took me. I don't remember how many motes, but until I only had about 4,000 Glimmer left.
What'd you guys think about the Trials of Osiris this week?
Fun. I enjoyed it.
You mean Trials of Shotguns?
Yeah, it was a shotgun heavy Trials. Patrick, you said you were using a sniper a bit, right?
Yeah, I used 3 different sniper rifles this time. I didn't just stick with my LDR.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I used my normal LDR for the first run, the Shadow of Veils for the second, and then what was it? I think I just used my effort eats with 6 rounds.
And what was your backup weapon? I mean, your primary weapon?
Hand cannon.
Shots fired.
It varied. I had Hawkmoon, I had Jewel of Osiris, and then I had Devil You Know.
So there are definitely some long sniper lines. I didn't catch on to that until probably Saturday, right? I played a little bit on Friday. I played a little bit on Saturday. I started really playing on Sunday, and it felt like it was just shotgun heavy all the way through the map. But actually, once I learned the map a little bit, and I hadn't had a whole lot of playtime on that map, I ended up really enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it very much because I ended up playing with 2 really strong snipers. Mm-hmm. And we went we ended up doing it on stream, and I think some of you guys were watching, but it's MTash and KJ Hovey. And we were, they're the guys that put out the No Land Beyond only sniper video, Trials run 9-0. So we were challenged by the viewers to not use any boons. So straight 9 wins, and we did 3 of them back to back. So 27-0, and I just felt like the biggest noob with them. They're so much. They sniped the entire time. It was crazy. I didn't think you could snipe on that map, and they showed me you could. So
it's awesome. Definitely possible. It's one of the harder maps to snipe on, just because not only are the sight lines a lot smaller, but the terrain is at a lot of different levels, so you can't like predict where someone's head's going to be. You have to do the drag scoping, and you have to be really good at that, which I suck at it.
Quick promo for MTash. I was watching his stream on the PlanetDestiny stream. Was that 2 days ago?
When he was doing it during the day? I think so, right?
He is did it on, nasty.
Yeah, he's a great player.
Yeah. Oh my lord, he is good.
Yep.
I'm really excited to have him as part of the team.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna be the hit for the 14-year-old girls for sure. I'm just kidding. I'm giving him a hard time. He's like a pretty boy. He's a good looking guy.
Yeah, I'm helping him get set up also with some of the stream stuff while he's getting him all the tools, and I'm gonna get him set up and then get the schedule going for him.
For sure.
So awesome having him
and he's really good at communicating with the listener base and like the people that are watching. I feel like he's a natural at it, to be honest with you.
It's really cool. I was going to say also for streaming, this week I had a chance to help people through trials because I also had some really high top tier players with me. Luminosity, he's incredible, and I'm Zerky. He's another great player on the Xbox. So now every weekend I'm going to be helping players that are watching or viewers that are watching on stream go to the Lighthouse. So if you guys want to see that,
that's really cool.
How do I sign up for this, Tefty?
Yeah. I watch your channel. Hey, I watch your channel, Tefty. Come on.
So I'm typically streaming 9 p.m. Pacific time, and I think I've decided to change no more Fridays, so I'm going to do Saturday and Sunday, and then possibly Monday for this as well. And I believe PlayStation is going to be on Saturdays, and then Xbox on Sundays, and then I'm going to figure out what I want to do on Mondays. Probably flip a coin. And all you have to do is come to the stream, watch, and then I'm going to have a raffle thing with MooBot, so you guys can raffle in, and then whoever gets selected gets to go to the Lighthouse. So
awesome.
This last weekend,
that sounds like a lot of fun.
I think we brought 10 or 11 people to the Lighthouse. It's really cool.
A lot of people. I think there's a lot of people that really have not had that experience yet, and don't. Mm-hmm. The Trials of Osiris weapons are really nice, and the really good versions of them are the ones in the chest at the Lighthouse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they're useful for the rest of the game because they got the burns on them, the elementals.
Oh,
so
I actually
elders. And
the irony is that I feel like the Trials of Osiris weapons are better for PvE than they are for PvP.
They are because they're not exotic cannons.
Okay, good point. Very good point.
Touche.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, the stuff I'm getting from Prison of Elders really isn't that great. I mean, it's got awful modifiers on it.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but I really hate how all the Prison of Elders weapons. There's no last perk. It's just like it's a damage burn for shanks 90% of the time.
Yeah. Even if you get something that could be good, like the Fallen Captain one that has a chance to stun them. Or the one that does extra damage to all Fallen. They're really not that good.
It does 75 damage.
Yeah.
To fall 75.
Actually, Patrick, I wanted to ask, what did you think of Shadow of Veils?
Because Shadow of Veils is a really, really solid sniper rifle. It's in a really good place. Its one weakness though is that it just doesn't have that second perk. It has, I think mine has Dreg Burn on it or something. It's like
super useful.
I got a hand cannon from 35 Prison of Elders.
6 Dreg
Old Scully.
The 6 Dreg Pride, and I got it in arc damage, and while I know you're initially thinking, well, it's not going to replace your Fatebringer. It has the chance to stun fallen captains, and with the extended mag, it's 12 rounds, right? And it has one-man army. Unassisted kills reduce the grenade and melee. I feel like when I'm playing the Prison of Elders runs, especially in the Fallen rooms, if I put on their armor, now that I'm getting complete sets of their armor, it is so nice. It is something that I feel like I'm really starting to see the benefits of getting the armor, and I'm seeing the perks combined. Maybe not individually, they kind of suck, but if you put on a full armor set of Prison of Elders armor and are using their guns, I'm finding that it's really helping me out a lot when I go to
synergize as well. Yeah, especially once you get up to level 35, where stuff is really starting to get deadly.
Right, and you gotta have some of those burns and modifiers on the guns, and I feel like that I'm just starting to understand the meta of the Prison of Elders armor and weapons now that I'm seeing them combined.
The armor works great. Like, I love the armor. It's gonna suck that I have to have 4 full sets of it for every character.
I know.
But
can't keep them, right?
The weapons, like, I like the 6-strike Pride. It's a fun weapon to use. It's really unique looking. I, like you, have the arc damage version that does damage or stuns fallen captains.
Oh, you got the same one. Oh,
I got the exact same one.
Nice.
But, like, I just don't find myself using it. When, like, at level 32, I'll use it. Hell yeah. But at level 35, when the meat needs to come off the bone, I'm looking for a Hawkmoon or a big boy gun.
Fatebringer, Fang of Ute. Those are my workhorses.
Yeah, Fang of Ute
like
does
Skolas.
Work.
Yeah,
Fatebringer as well.
See, I kind of got screwed on my 6 Strikes Pride. I got the solar damage version, which is like, oh man, you have a solar hand cannon now. That's awesome. It has shank burn, so it's like my shank burn. Or
It
it's
would
my
be
shank
perfect for
killing
the
weapon.
Nightfall.
Now, speaking of shank burn, I actually got an auto rifle, right? I'm trying to
Wolf Slayer's Claw.
Yep. Wolf Slayer's Claw.
Yep.
I got Wolf Slayer's Claw, and it has shank burn on it, but it's also solar damage. So, in reality, when I could see myself using that gun, that rifle, specifically in solar damage, fallen Nightfalls. Yeah. How specific that is. That's crazy, right?
It's too specific.
Right.
It's too specific because, like, let's say there's arc burn. You can, I think it's 2 or 3 shot shanks with a fire shield or a solar shield when there's arc burn on. You know?
Yeah.
With Fatebringer, you can
you're right.
2 or 3 shot them. So it's like, when am I gonna equip that gun, and then kill those shanks, and then re-equip what I really wanted to use?
Because in the Taken King trailer, we saw a giant ass shank boss.
A giant shank boss. Hey, I'm excited. If there's a giant shank boss, I will be remorseful of all.
Yeah, Dichronic. I could hear Dichronic just scream in fear and run away.
I'll be remorseful of all the weapons that I dismantled that had shank burn, if that's the case.
No, I'm keeping that 6-shred prize just in case.
I'd keep that one because it's solar also. Solar
and I really, and to be honest with you, I enjoy using it in PvE as a gun to run around with, and not to get hate from the Fatebringer people out there, but it to me it's fun to just run around and try different guns out, and not always use the same thing.
It's like the Word of Crota, right? Is the Word of Crota... we've talked about it cosmetically. It kind of is hard to aim with, but if you actually start getting good with it, you can kill pretty quickly with it.
Really?
It's a 3-shot kill.
It's a good
and it's fast firing. So it actually works well. Cosmetically, it's rough because it's so wide, it actually obscures your target a little bit. Like, its recoil actually kind of... It gets in the way of you and the target. But it actually kills pretty quickly. Not as quickly as an exotic hand cannon.
Well, it does,
but
right?
It's actually not bad. It's the Devil You Don't. It was kind of like that, but with more.
Devil You Don't has 90. Didn't Devil You Don't have 90 aim assist on it?
It had 90 aim assist.
Yeah, I've actually have one with Field Scout on the Xbox.
Oh, you lucky bastard!
I know. I'm pretty happy about it.
As far as like a little bit of news, another Luke Smith interview came out today where he confirmed that the 347 Vested Dynasty and the Fate of All Fools are not in House of Wolves, or at least not in the game right now.
We knew this, right?
Ooh.
Well, yeah.
Kind of.
Sort of.
Kind of like
we wanted
it's
nuggets.
in the database, but it's like they're not fully in the database. 347 has a fully updated icon and attack stats, but there's no Grimoire card for it. And then Fate of All Fools has, a Grimoire card, but it second perk still doesn't work according to BK Bunny. So yeah, both weapons were in this weird limbo state of they kind of exist and they kind of don't.
This is the real problem with mine in the database is that you just kind of set up false expectations for yourself.
I experienced that in World of Warcraft when we would data mine. Oh man, there's this new thing. It looks like a new mount. I wonder what it's gonna be. Nope, just like a new mob that you would jump on for a small quest.
And I think
the Jewel of Osiris was a completely different weapon.
Yeah, no, I suddenly had the thought that we probably need to remove all the old data mined Trials of Osiris weapons because people are going to be wondering why we can't get that 3-shot Jewel of Osiris with Luck in the Chamber in final round.
Well, I think that people need to realize that Bungie is on to us.
Yeah.
Right? They're on to us. I mean, I think they should realize that they probably know we're data mining it. Yeah. And if I was a, architect of the game's saved files, wouldn't you just it wouldn't be that hard to put placeholders in, right?
Oh yeah, they did that with Mega Man's data mining.
Yeah. Right. So I can imagine them trolling us and just putting in random stuff under, I just want to caution us to complete, like Briar was saying, to focus on the data mines because it's just going to set up false expectations.
Oh yeah, and the thing with those two weapons, we've known about them since I think the beginning of the game. They've been in the game files, so we figured we would probably see them now. And it's kind of a shame we're not, but
right.
Okay.
Well, it also might be a thing though. I've been saying this: the Dark Below didn't have Necrochasm available until about a month and a half.
True.
When Hard Mode Crota came out. There's got to be some sort of additional game thing that's going to get released like that for House of Wolves, because I can't imagine them going the whole summer and then being like, okay, Taken King, here you go, guys.
I can't imagine them going the current story, where they kind of left it off right now. It feels like it's at this weird point in the storyline where, okay, so we've technically captured and I guess killed Skolas now, but what's going on with Varix? He's kind of a shifty bastard. We might see something. Totally shifty. He's gonna betray you. He's
up with all those minds.
That dude is legit.
He's totally.
Oh no! I believe every word he says.
We don't know where the queen is. She had one voice line that came in.
Yeah. When you capture
she's behind that door. There's 3 people watching it. She doesn't. No,
she's not. She's in a completely different area of the reef. According to the lore, that is.
Right. Well, there's a door that opens up. That has 3 people in the reef protecting it. They look like the Queen's emissaries.
Oh, everyone looks like the Queen's emissaries.
Well,
in
no,
there.
when you first go in and you see there's that room that there's just 3, people
standing
there. Yeah.
No, I know what you're talking about, but the Queen is not on the Vestian outpost.
Oh, okay. I thought she was.
According to the lore. No,
she got better things to do.
Yeah,
well, whatever. We're fighting to get her kingdom back for her, and she doesn't even have the decency to hang out with us.
Well, you bring up a good point, though. I mean, there's a resolution that should come, and I think maybe that resolution is going to bring some tasty goody treats, right?
I would hope so. I definitely want to see something happen with the Queen. We've been teased this entire time. She's like, I have shown you benevolence, Guardian. Well, thanks, okay. And then we don't even see her this entire expansion aside from the cinematic,
all
and
right.
we just get
I'm gonna ruin it for everybody right now. We marry the Queen and have little exo babies, and
I'm okay with that
fill up the reef.
I'm okay with that.
What if your character's not exo?
Doesn't matter. You're still gonna have exo babies.
Exo babies are the cutest babies.
They're so cute.
They're totally programmable.
All right, honey.
Just like real children.
Oh God. Where have we gone with this podcast right now?
But yeah.
Patrick, you should say also you hit what level is it so far on the Queen's rank?
I'm at Queen's Wrath rank 5.5 right now.
Nothing.
Nothing. My original thought was Vestian Dynasty would come from rank 5. or maybe it would come from rank 5, and then I have to go do Prison of Elders. But now that I saw that Luke Smith thing, I'm like, oh, done. It's Friday. Throwing down my papers. I'm done.
That's too bad. I'm sorry to hear that, because that was a really cool addition to the game. Getting those bounties, going out with your friends, and
I thought they would do something more with it.
Yeah,
but it's just
I would have hoped so. Maybe somewhere down the line, because we still haven't seen all of them. There's 2 of them that we haven't even seen yet. 2 bounties.
Yeah,
we saw a brand new one this week. A couple weeks ago, we saw a brand new one that had a new mission, which not a new mission, but
not a new mission. It's actually really convenient this week, because you just zone into there and then just kind of walk past where you're supposed to go, and then you go kill the things from the new mission this week, and then you go kill the guy. So it's kind of 2 birds with 1 stone.
Nice.
But there could still be more to it.
That's what I'm saying. I think like some sort of the hard mode equivalent is probably going to come out, maybe middle of July, just to tide us over on something,
I don't know. I definitely hope something happens, because right now, House of Wolves is doom and gloom. Coming back to the podcast, guys, it's like
doom and gloom.
House of Wolves is just like, oh Jesus, we're 5 weeks in, I think, right now, 5 or 6 weeks in. It's like, okay, I'm kind of tired of Prison of Elders. I have no reason to run it.
What do you guys think of the Skolas nerf? Oh, speaking of Prison of Elders.
Oh yeah, I think it's actually a good.
I
thing
think it's I think it's great. Personally.
I do too.
Yeah,
because it's a lot of fun, right?
Mm-hmm. It's a proper encounter now. It's not just you're gonna throw cheese at it and see if you can kill him.
It's still difficult. It still takes a lot of teamwork. It still takes a while. I think me and Tefty ran it. It took us like 40 minutes.
Yeah, it's still long. Yeah,
without a wipe.
But it was fun though.
It was fun. It's a fun encounter. I really enjoy it now. I think they really nailed it.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Patrick. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, just thank you for interrupting my doom and gloom. At this point in the DLC, it's like, okay, September 15th is a long way away, and
there's always
you also have to realize that you play a lot of Destiny.
Yeah, I do. I play more than you really should play a single game.
Right. So there's a lot of people out there that still have a little ways to go still.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And if you're one of the people that logs on, just kind of does Prison of Elders, once a week, maybe just tries to do one Trials card, doesn't complete it, I completely understand that you're like, hey, there's still plenty of content for me to do. That's great. I wish I could be in that same boat.
I had a great night last night. A bunch of friends, who hadn't actually played in a while, all of a sudden just kind of turned up and formed a party.
Oh, nice.
And we ended up running Crota's End because one person still needed a sword breaker, so we decided to go back through normal mode of Crota's End. Had a blast doing that. Then another friend needed a Fate Bringer, so we did the hard mode of Vault of Glass. Had a blast doing that. We all got Chatterwhite when we finished it. So we ended up all putting on Chatterwhite, then going into Control with Necrochasms only and trying to win a Control match. And we're all dressed in Chatterwhite. And we decided we had to dance hilarious. In the middle of the map at the beginning of each match. It was a lot of fun.
The community of Destiny is one of the really cool things that I like, and that I really hope we can get past all this current stuff that's going on right now, just to be like, look, the game's fun.
Yeah,
just play it.
I was gonna
have
say
fun with your friends.
I was gonna say I did a Nightfall video on my own channel, and I got Etheric Light. I was like, oh man, Etheric Light is the new strange coin. This is gonna pile up. I can't even convert it to Glimmer or some sort of useful resource.
I have like 35 of those right now.
Yeah, exactly. And several people commented, they're like, well, I'm still struggling. I'm looking for Etheric Light because I need it still. And that's when it dawned on me as well. Oh, that's right. I'm an edge case.
Yeah.
I'm on the outskirts of playing this game. Yeah.
All of us are. So
and the Etheric Light to me is now becoming rampant, and other people, they're just now getting to the point where they're like, please, I just need that one last piece of Etheric Light.
It's like Galahorns for me. Like I dismantled one on stream the other day.
Hey, you calm down. You don't say anything.
Yeah, let's not talk about Galahorns.
I actually had used an Etheric Light on a piece of armor and then dismantled the piece of armor like an hour later.
Just to see what happens?
No, because I thought I was going to use it and then I got a better piece of armor.
It's that point now. Like, as soon as you get 20 plus, you're like, okay, ascend the auto rifles, and now what?
Well, I think if we're going to give advice, so you're at the tail end of where the etheric light is useful. Looking back on that, how did you use it in the best way? Do you think you used it in the best way? If you could go back in time, how would you use it differently if you had an opportunity to do it again?
Yeah, I mean, armor first. I planned
did
it
all
out
my
so I could
Crota's
do
End armor.
Yeah. Well, I did it where, I knew that I was going to buy something from Varix. So obviously, don't touch that one. You hit 32, or you hit 33 immediately. Then you get the Etheric Light from 34. And then, you just make sure you do it all armor first. And then you start doing Fatebringer for PvE stuff. And then, I guess, what would you do after Fatebringer? I feel like there's a lot.
I did another set of armor for PvP, starting with the gloves. The gloves that give you the reload speed for mainly pulse rifles and hand cannons.
So you didn't do weapons at all until you had your PvE and PvP set?
I knew Trials was coming. I did do... Well, you didn't have to do the exotic hand cannons because they just worked off shards. So
they're shards, yeah.
Yeah, no.
Which if you're in our category, you typically have like a ton of shards at this point.
Yeah, I'm at like 40 something shards.
Yeah, I'm about there too.
Like I just saved my etheric light right now. It's like if there's something that needs upgrading, cool. I got the light. I can upgrade it, but I'm not like mass prioritizing things to upgrade because at this point I have my core set of weapons and armor that I use.
Well, what Pope was asking though is like, what did you prioritize first when you?
What did I prioritize first? I think it was my LDR.
That was the very first one that got leveled.
Yeah. Yeah, it was my LDR. They got leveled first.
I went with the Vision of Confluence because it used to be my favorite gun, but it kind of fallen by the wayside because it didn't do the damage it needed to anymore. So it was nice to get that thing up to the new level, and that thing's really powerful now.
And then you ascended your Fatebringer. You're like, oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I forgot.
Well, that's funny that you guys, what I found myself ascending the most out of everything was all Vault of Glass gear and weapons.
I think we discussed this we discussed this in one of our other podcasts where like, man, Bungie, they hit a home run with those first initial weapons from the raid. Like, they're all so good.
Yep.
Except Atheon's epilogue. But yeah, like all of them are so good.
And also, I wish I could use Praetorian Foil, but I've never had that weapon drop for me.
I haven't either, Tefty. I've never seen that weapon drop for anybody.
I'm about to let you guys in on a secret here. I had it drop for me. Right when Dark Below came out, and I dismantled it, and I've never seen another one.
No,
guys, you can take this as my resignation from the podcast.
So fun, I have it, and it's very nice.
Well, it's just.
I know
nice.
It's a nice high impact.
Nice.
Yeah, it's I have it upgraded, and I really enjoy it.
It's the collector in me wants to at least have it in my collection, be like, sweet. Maybe I'll level you up. Maybe I won't. Who cares? I got it now.
Well, doesn't it one-shot oracles too?
Yeah, it upgraded. Yes,
that's pretty powerful. As well. That's pretty good.
It is the ultimate like oracle disruptor. You get sent to Mars or Venus, and you basically just waste them.
Yeah,
you don't actually have to have the other teammate help you at all.
I've been that other teammate and been like, why am I even shooting right now?
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk with you. Are we okay with that?
But seriously, why is that gun so rare? I've seen it drop, I think, 5 times, and I'm talking about both systems.
I've never seen
play on
both
systems. Yeah.
I've never seen the machine gun.
And here's the irony of it: I've probably had 4 of them drop for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Praetorian foils?
Yep.
You run Vault of Glass a lot, though. You still.
Oh no! I used to. Yeah, I've run Vault of Glass at least 150 times.
Yeah.
I mean, Pope, I'm definitely in that category.
You play as much. I mean, we all have problems. I know.
Yeah, I have 6 characters, and I've never seen the Praetorian drop for me, and I've witnessed it 5 times.
And it's definitely like weird, that you're not seeing it. But a
lot of people.
I get it.
Way.
I have
I've
dismantled at least 3 of them. So
yeah, I mean, I would too if I had 4. But like, the foil is the most rare in that raid, and then Timepiece is like a close second, and then Vex Mythoclast. That's my feels on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely doesn't fall very often, and it is a beautiful. I run Vault of Glass so often that it was literally my Vault of Glass weapons were my first etheric lights, and that was probably my 3rd or 4th one.
Anybody do Atheon's epilogue?
I dismantled that thing a long time ago when I got word of Crota.
I dismantled it for a different reason, so that when I was streaming and the stream wanted to do a challenge mode, they always want to pick Atheon's epilogue, and I just dismantled it so that I could go, I'm sorry.
So
guys,
you don't
I
have it? Oh, that's great.
Still got the Necrochasm.
Oh no, I deleted that one too.
You did?
Yeah. No Land Beyond, Necrochasm, Atheon's epilogue. Don't have them.
You deleted them?
Yeah.
Well, all you got to do is you just have to run Crota, and you'll have No Land Beyond again. Once.
I get that all the time, and it's so odd how often it drops.
Isn't it weird how there was no real weapon? Well, I guess Black Hammer was a little rare, but it doesn't really seem like there was a super rare weapon in Crota.
Necrochasm.
Yeah, really though? I mean, I feel like that dropped.
I got it the week
Crux of Crota
before
dropped.
House of Wolves.
No, people are still waiting for.
People are still waiting for their Husk of the Pit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might actually be the real,
and
the real
the
rare one.
Crotas, the Crux of Crota.
RNG be crazy.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So I think that's the end of this podcast. I think we got some good discussion in on the community's, questions and concerns about the collector's edition. You guys kind of agree there?
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah,
I mean, hopefully it's getting put to bed now. Hopefully we can move past this and look forward to more positive things.
And that's if anything I want people to walk away from is that I love dialogue. I love the people that are communicating with me on Twitter and coming onto the streams and want to talk about it, but do so in a respectful, intelligent way, and I will talk to you. If you're one of the people yelling fire in a crowded theater, I'm just not going to engage with you.
Yeah, like we're all just trying to take not a neutral aspect, but we're just trying to see both sides of the argument, all the arguments here. So yeah, it's like I think we all understand both sides at this point.
Pope's a thought creator. He doesn't have time for your negativity.
Oh, Brian.
Well, anyway, guys, this has been Patrick Casey with Planet Destiny. And if you want to find me, you can go find me on Twitter at Holtzman_PD. Or you can just watch some of my videos on Planet Destiny.
I'm the Briar Rabbit. You can find me on Twitter at the Briar Rabbit or on YouTube at the Briar Rabbit channel.
This has been Tefty Teft. You can talk to me at Teft on Twitter. I occasionally do videos for Planet Destiny. And you can check out my own channel as well, Tefty Teft Games. And I'm also streaming for Planet Destiny most nights of the week, Pacific time, 9 p.m. Pacific time.
And this has been Pope Bear. And you can find me streaming on the Planet Destiny channel, just on our schedule. I stream 3-4 nights a week. And on this podcast or on Twitter at Pope Bear. You can also find me this Sunday. If you're listening to this before the Sunday, we're doing a charity live stream to bring awareness towards cystic fibrosis. We're going to be streaming on the Dad's Destiny channel. If you follow me on Twitter, you can find out all the information on that. But I'll be running a raid with a challenge raid with Dado and Miss 5000 Watts and
nice.
A bunch of people.
If you need someone else for that, I think I'm free on Sunday.
Aha. All right.
Yes.
Sounds good.
I would like to have another fantastic experience. The last time we did a charity stream, that was really fun when we did a challenge raid with Dado calling all the shots.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and we have a special guest today. I'm not going to say his gamer tag online yet, but he's a great kid. He's got cystic fibrosis, and he's a big fan of Destiny, and was so excited to be a part of it. We're hoping to give him a really cool experience and play with all of us and hang out with the community and bring awareness to this horrible disease. And we, guys over at Dad's of Destiny, we all have our hearts out to a friend of ours who passed away from it recently. And that's what this stream is about this weekend, and come check it out.
Yep, definitely. I hope all you guys watching can at least head on over to the stream at some point. It's going to be a 36-hour stream.
Yeah,
so
I think actually there's so much interest in it, Patrick, the community interest in being a part of it, that we opened it up to 48 hours.
Oh, fantastic. Then I think everyone should at least tune in for, an hour or something, just to see what's up and watch it. All right, guys, so thanks for tuning into this week's podcast. Hopefully next week we'll be talking all about the game and just some enjoyable parts instead of just, being a little bit doom and gloom for the first half of that podcast. Anyway, we'll see you next week.